Greetings! Stay a while and listen to me, MarauderEX, as we play more Trials of Mana, and we have reached the finale. This will be the end of the Let's Play, because we aren't the final boss. We're going to deal with this. Let's deal with this. Ow. He just kind of smacked me around. Ow. That was multiple hits. I did not like that. How about you just eat that? I have no idea what he's actually weak to. Ow, Jesus Christ. That is really difficult to, all of his abilities seem really difficult to dodge. Like, it's, once you're in there, you're in there. I didn't want to double slash. I wanted to ton shatter. He's not super... Like, he doesn't have a ton of HP or anything. It's just really hard to dodge a lot of his abilities. Let's see. Is there anything... Like, honestly, that's not gonna work on him. No, no, no. Let's say, does he have an elemental weakness? No, he does not. So I am just going to use that to get some of my HP back, because he is just beating the crap out of me. How about you stop with that? Alright, you are kind of a pain. And by kind of, I mean really. Especially when you hop and I miss my attack. Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. You're the one I want to chap slop. Mono Dragon. Yeah, he doesn't have a ton of HP. Alright. Just die. Alright, that can't have been the final boss fight. A supreme god cannot die. Like, the Crimson Wizard was far more of a fight than that. There's gotta be more to it. Well, he's exploding, so I don't think there actually is anything more to that. Well, that's unfortunate. Well, we beat the game. Autosave. Well, yeah, because we get all the post-game stuff. And I'm not going to do a lot of the post-game stuff. I might do an extra special video about it, showing like the next classes, but Fairy, thank you for never giving in to despair, but the tree of mana is dead and mana has disappeared from the world. Is there no way that we can bring it back? I can't exist without mana. We didn't know each other for long, but I treasured our time together. I won't forget any of you. And I guess now this is like the end of the Age of Myths. So I assume without mana, magic will start to, you know, falter as well. I will now be reborn as the new goddess of mana. Okay, what? So we'll have another goddess of mana, but I thought she needed the mana tree. And Fairy turns into a goddess. With some decidedly Sailor Moon style hair. Fairies are like the seeds of the mana tree. Once they find a worthy person, someone with a pure heart that they trust completely, that fairy can become the new tree and... Okay. So she'll become the new tree and goddess. So mana won't disappear from the world. I must take the tree's place and sleep here in the sanctuary. It may take 1,000 years for me to restore all of the mana. So, well, that's... But if in 1,000 years your descendants still remember the Tree of Mana, I will awaken. I'm sure I can help them in their hour of need as well. Hopefully we can last 1,000 years without needing your help. But until I'm needed in the future, I will remain here asleep, quietly protecting the world as this tree. This is where we part, my brave heroes. Farewell. Well, does that mean the spirits are going to stay here? May the Sword of Mana, the one that lives in all your hearts, shine on forever. Because, I mean, the spirits don't need to be near the stones anymore because the stones are gone. Because the Benevodons have been destroyed. So I guess they could just stay here in this realm. And we leave triumphant. And meanwhile, Fairy's like, okay, I gotta clean this place up. It is wrecked. Okay, I was a little disappointed by that final boss fight. I was expecting a little bit more. There is an optional boss fight, a hidden boss fight, the Black Rabbite for Durin and Angela. I don't know where he is in this game, though. I don't know if he's in the same spot he was in the original. I couldn't find much, any of the walkthroughs about the optional boss fights, but I know he's there. So I'm kind of curious about that. Trouble is, magic depends on mana, which means that without mana in this world, our powers are no more. My magic included, Altana will once more be plagued by the terrible cold of the surrounding area. What difference does a little snow make? It's the elements against our people's fiery willpower. Our people are resourceful enough to withstand the cold even without our magic to lean on. Yeah, we'll just build big fires. There's no way that could go wrong. But yeah, like I said, I will probably do a follow-up video for some of the extra stuff, but this is where the game originally ended. Just when I got in the hang of magic, it disappears. And I guess I found something more important than magic in the end. What'd you find? What are you staring at me for? Is there something on my face? She loves you. You're gonna get married. Have babies. Basically. So, yeah. The extra classes are neat and everything, but they weren't part of the game originally. They are part of this game, and so like I said, I do kind of want to show them off. But that's going to be an extra thing that I'll deal with. This was the story. This was the end of it. Oh God, I'm not reading that. I could never have faced you. Could never have faced your dearly departed parents if something had happened to you. And he's like, oh, if you had died, I couldn't have died because I don't want to deal with your dead parents looking at me like, why'd you let our daughter die? Heath himself managed to cure my illness. A vision of him came to me one night. He used forbidden dark magic to undo the curse and save me, sacrificing himself, and then he disappeared. I don't think that was a... I think that actually happened. I tried to stop him. There was no need for him to throw his life away for this old man's sake, but he wanted to atone for the darkness in his soul before it was too late. That's kind of a dick move that the one character Charlotte's been after is dead. Like, her story is basically, oh, failed. That actually kind of sucks. There's not a happy ending for her. Oh. Why did you have to do that? Okay, so he's not dead. That's... Yeah, how are you alive? We were told you killed yourself. Goddess of Mana saved me. When I sacrificed my corrupt soul, I found myself lost in a dark abyss. I love Fairy's like, okay, Charlotte, I know you've been following him around forever. I'll give you this one. What was left of her fairy life force and brought me back from the darkness. Well, that's good. I would have been really disappointed if didn't get at least somewhat of a happy ending for at least the youngest character. Like, Heath's like, okay, what? Let's just calm yourself. You're freaking me out right now. You know the goddess is looking at this and laughing. Yeah, the goddess knows us pretty well, because, I mean, the new goddess being Fairy, she traveled with us through the game. Like, she saw all of us. And Charlotte's horrible, horrible accent. And we have one last story bit to go through, which would be Durin's. So let's see how our story actually ends. We're back home. Durin walks in like... Oh, right, I forgot he had a sister. It's been forever. You're back safe and sound. I'm just so glad to see you. It's like, I had a bunch of neat spells, but apparently they're all gone now, because, you know, mana's not a thing anymore, so... But you should go to the castle and report back to His Majesty. At the very least, I've got this kick-ass sword. And I can shoot, like, whirlwinds out of it, so, you know, it's not a total bust. Like, it could have been worse. I love how we only get one goddess scale, though. I guess maybe we'd get more if we, do the post-game content. That sounds like quite the adventure. Your journey was difficult, but it had to be done. Now is not the time for sadness. Loki is alive inside you all. His soul is freed and with you always. Loki is not really dead. Well, no, he is dead, but he's alive, inside you, but dead. We do not have the Goddess of Mana to rely on to keep the world in balance anymore. Durin, you and your friends will take up the mantle as the new Golden Knights. Valsenna will follow where you lead. The future is yours. So I guess the three of us are... I mean, actually, the three of us are in charge of, like, three of the largest, you know, areas in this world. and between Valsena and Altana, like that's two of. Other than that, you've got the Beastmen. So yeah, we're like, oh well, we're in charge now. World's ours. Oh hey, birds. Oh, is it? Are these the birds from Secret of Mana? I thought they were bigger. That was a big thing. There in Secret of Mana, there was, you know, like some sort of like almost flamingo heron type birds. But that tree is dead, and then there's another tree there growing. Look at it with little flowers next to it. So adorable. And I guess I think that's fairy or goddess, whichever one. But yeah, that's it. That's the game. We did it. We beat Trials of Mana. And now we get the credits. So yeah, as I was saying, I'm probably going to do a bonus video on this one. I don't know when it'll come out. I won't have it go up immediately after this, because it'll probably take some editing and some doing to show off some of the stuff. But like, I know the post-game content is part of this game, but it's not part of the game. It's just some extra stuff to kind of, you know, also entice people. New Game Plus. We get some chain abilities. Fairy gives you a 300% increase in XP. Durin gets base defense added by of plus 50. Angela magic attack increased by 50. Kevin base attack 50. Charlotte base magic defense 50. Hawk base luck increased by 50. Reese HP increased, base HP increased by 200. You don't keep the abilities through training screen in your class. All your training points go back down to 0. So yeah, there's really not too much as the point of this, other than maybe getting some of the stuff. So like I said, when I do it, it would be an extra video. Oh hey, there is a thing here for Black Rabbite. Game's second super boss. Spoof of the Monty Python the Holy Grail Rabbit. In the original, you could beat the Black Rabbite by casting a dark magic spell and causing his HP to roll over, because he had almost the max HP that was possible, and he absorbs dark magic. And so, like, you basically take him from, like, 100,000 HP to, like, 200 or something like that, and, you know, the next hit would kill him, because he could be just devastating. So when I shouldn't say if, because I will get around to it, I just don't know when. When I get around to the extra content, I will probably show him off as well. So, like I said, there will probably be, like, this is the last of the project, of the Let's Play, but not of the project, because, yeah, there's a lot of extra stuff to do. You know, level 4 classes for everyone that kind of suck a little bit. Like, looking at them, I was not really super impressed with them, but, you know, it's extra content, and the fact that they added extra content to this just blows my mind, because they could have gotten away with just making a 3D remake like this of the game, and that would have sold really well. This did so much better than their Secret of Mana remake for the PS4. That one kind of fell on its face. They tried to keep a lot of the charm of the original and keep a lot of the style of the original, but still trying to make it more modern. And I remember there were some glitches and issues, and it just was not as enjoyable. Like, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't as good as it could have been. This was phenomenal. I was super excited when they announced this. The fact that, you know, it was 20 some odd years after the original game came out, we were finally getting not only the original game, but they're remaking it as well. So, I mean, this is available on the Switch, on PS4, I believe on Steam as well. It's available on multiple platforms. I really can't recommend it enough. I would say either turn off the voice acting like I did, or change it to Japanese. The North American voice acting is not... It's not bad, but it's just not my cup of tea. But at the very least, the game itself is fun, and it does have so much replayability, because you can play through it just twice and get access to all of the character styles. But then if you want to actually see every character's story, you have to play through it, you know, multiple times. You, at least, well, in this version, you can get some of the story, some of the backstory, when the characters join up for you, so only twice. But, yeah, it does encourage a lot of replayability, and now with a New Game Plus feature, that adds even more to it. So, like I said, I really can't recommend this game enough. It's fantastic. It's got a lot of charm. It really does remind me of Final Fantasy XI, which is one of my favorite games of all time, even though as an MMO. But there's just so much of that style that seems like it still fits in here. And so, you know, being reminded of that world is never something I'm going to be upset by. I'm going to enjoy it thoroughly. So, yeah, I really hope they do more with this franchise. I really hope we get another Trials, or another Mana game, rather, not really the Trials game, but another game like this with, you know, multiple characters, story paths, you know. This was fantastic. So I hope Square Enix is like, hey, yeah, let's make another one and do something else. Granted, I know it's a lot easier to do a remake because the story is already written out for you. And that's one of the things that I know a lot of modern games people kind of harp on. It's like, okay, this either it's got a great story and then the game itself is a little eh, or the game is great but the story just seems like it was kind of tacked on as an afterthought. And, you know, that happens with creating a brand new project. And sometimes you're not going to get that perfect mesh, but I would hope for another Mana series game. I thoroughly enjoy them. They're cute, they're fun, they're a lighthearted romp, but they still have some, you know, bits to them that, you know, make you stop and think for a minute. So, yeah, that's really it. I loved playing through this. I was really excited when they announced this game, and so finally being able to sit down and play through it from beginning to end was great. Even though I had already played through the SNES version, and I have the SNES version as the collection of Mana, which if that's another thing that you haven't picked up, I highly recommend that one as well. You can pick up the original SNES version of this on the collection of Mana, which is also on multiple platforms. With that, you get the Game Boy game that started it, that was known as Final Fantasy Legend here in the US, Secret of Mana, and then Trials of Mana, which was originally known as Seiken Densetsu 3. Which, that's the reason why a lot of people were really confused why this was Seiken Densetsu 3. It's like, what's the first game? It's like, it was a game on the Game Boy. Because Secret of Mana was Seiken Densetsu 2. So, there's a lot of weird history because of localization with this. So, the fact that it was released in both formats is just mind-numbing. because Square Enix literally just ignored this game for decades. Fans had translated it and had fixed some of the issues with the original, because even the original release had some technical issues and glitches. Some stats didn't work properly, or some items and effects didn't work properly, and so it kind of cut some characters' usefulness in the game, which was a little crappy. But the fans went through and fixed that, and they added an English script to it so people could play it. And then just, you know, it almost seemed like out of the blue, Square Enix was like, yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and release it. That's a great idea. I actually remember when they announced the Collection of Mana, and it had Seiken Densetsu 3 on it, and I was just super excited, and I thought to myself, it's never going to come out here, because Square's not going to take the time to do an English script for it. And then a couple of years later, it released, and I was like, cue that shocked Pikachu meme. I was like, oh, well, okay, sure. In fact, I think as soon as they announced it, I started, you know, spamming, you know, websites like Target, Amazon, GameStop, etc., so that I could pre-order at the first place that I could find a pre-order. And I actually pre-ordered it from Square Enix's website, because they had it up first. And so I pre-ordered from them directly. I'm like, I don't care if I have to pay a little bit more for it, like, just to guarantee the pre-order, because I wasn't sure if the physical release, or the release in general, was going to be limited. Because, you know, you never know. And I didn't want to take the risk. It's like, I want that game. I want to have the official release. I loved the fan translation, but, you know, if I can support it and hopefully get a sequel, I'm definitely going to do that. So, I think we've come to the end of the credits. I think this is the ending screen, the ending splash screen. Because we see a tree that's actually grown. So I guess that's the new Tree of Mana, which is the new goddess from our friend Fairy. At least I think that's what it's supposed to allude to. So yeah, like I said, please check this game out. It is fantastic. It has some great quirky charm to it. I love it. I cannot recommend it enough. So go check it out, and I will see you in future projects, because that's it. So, you know, stick around. We'll see what comes out next, and I will catch you all in the next project. Oh, wait, what is this? Where am I? This world is... I guess this is the post-game content? Your bond with Fairy has granted you a new ability. Mana Blessing. Recover 2% of MP for all allies every 10 seconds. Okay. That's great for the post-game content. Save completed game data. Yep. There we go. So hey, that's it. I think. Is there anything more? Nope, that's it. So yes, thank you all for watching this project. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed playing it. Like I said, I will see you all in future installments. So till then, later everyone.